right here on the call. And today we're reaching you from Paris in France, and we are here for Wikimedia, which is the annual meetup for Wikimedians all over the world. And today is our fourth encounter in this very year's Mentor Me program. Tyap Wiki Bootcamp program. And we are just going to start right away. So my name is Kambai, and I will be sharing my screen any moment from now, and then we will take our lessons. Uh, it's not going to be as long as we had it last week. So um, here is my screen. So I want to believe that we can all see my screen currently. Yes. Okay. So let me just connect to the YouTube for those of us who may want to watch what we are doing currently on YouTube, so that they can be able to join us. So, this is again our meta page. I believe we have access to our meta page, and this is just how every Wikimedian edits. If we need to add anything like a link, so I'm doing it live so that those of us who are looking forward to contribute on Wikimedia can see how to contribute. So this is how we edit all Wikimedia projects, no matter what project it is. So I'm just going to embed the link right under number 4 right here, and this is where we have this. I'll put the link there, and then we have click to watch. You can see everything is clickable right now, but here it's not clickable. Once you put a link next to a square bracket, it becomes clickable. So we will not stop there, we just publish it, and voila. So that is our page. This is our YouTube uh, recording ongoing currently. So this is our link for to the program, the slides for today's lesson, and this is the beginning of it. So this is our lesson 4. This is our lesson 4 for the guide, a guide to learn to read and write here. And today being the 31st day of July 2026 is our very fourth class, and we have about 2 classes to end this session. So today will be on grammar. So what is grammar? What do you think is grammar? Grammar is the art of the correct usage of language. Now, all the words, all the phrases, all the symbols, and others are spoken, written, and arranged according to the grammatical rules of each language, and not every language has the same grammatical rule. For example, I'll give you the French language. If you are writing the names of languages, for the Englishman, he will write it with a capital letter for every language. So if you want to write English, you start with letter E, capital. If you want to write Tiap, you write capital letter T before YAP. But for the French language, you spell with small letter P, small letter E for English, for languages. You spell with small letter T for Tiap, and the same rule that we use in English is the same rule we follow in the Tiap language. So you start with capital letter T. If you're writing the name of a human being, I can see that a lot of us in the community, when we are writing the names of people, even your names, you start maybe with capital letter. The first name will carry capital letter. When you go to your next name, you start with small letter. So that is wrong use of grammar. So whose audio is on? Please switch off your audio. Sankwai, switch off your audio, please. Uh, so so Some aspects of grammar we shall be looking at would include parts of speech, plurals, affixation, negation, asking questions, and then tenses. Now, what are parts of speech? I believe we all have done the eight parts of speech in the English language, so we have the same parts of speech in the Tyap language, just that they carry different names. So just read and identify the following, the different parts of the speech in this very English quote. The lucky boys saw the clowns at the circus and they cheered loudly. The lucky boys saw the clowns at the circus and they cheered loudly. So I would point at someone and then you tell us what part of speech that word belong to. So the word boys, I would need someone to tell us what part of speech the word boys belong to. You have nouns, you have verbs, you have adjectives, you have preposition, you have conjunctions, you have interjections, and then you have pronouns. So what part of speech is the word boys? So I'll point at Sankwai. What part of speech is the word boys in, in the English language?
Pronoun.
Okay. So Sankwai thinks the word boys is a pronoun. I'll point at someone else. Actually, mention what part of speech is the word boys in the English language?
My own.
Did you say my answer?
Yeah, yeah, yes.
My own.
Okay, to me, I think boys is actually referring to human beings.
Mhm.
So therefore, it stands for a noun.
Okay, so it's Guai. So I'll point at someone else again. So Attorney Marshall thinks boys is a noun, and then Attorney Sankwe thinks boys is a pronoun. So let me point at Attorney Ben. You're just coming, but I believe even though you came late today, you didn't go late to your primary 1 to 6 and your secondary school. So, what part of speech do you think the word saw, SAW, is? What part of speech? We have about eight parts of speech, but what do you think the word saw is? What part of speech? Hmm? What part of speech is the word saw, SAW? Hmm. Okay, so everyone is silent, but uh, well, let's just be quick so that we'll be able to finish quickly. So we have a set of words right here, and each of these very words belong to one part of speech or the other. So even though in the primary and secondary school you were taught eight parts of speech, but there are other aspects of speech outside of this eight parts of speech. We also have what you call qualifiers. Yeah, we also have articles, and then we also have other aspects of grammar, and so we can't be able to classify all these words in the same eight parts of speech. So the word lucky is an adjective because it is giving more information about the word boys. So boys is a noun, and if you remember clearly, you must have heard that a noun is a name of a person, an animal, a place, or a thing. That's the basic definition of a noun. So the pronoun is the word we use instead of a noun. So boys cannot be a pronoun. If it is he or she or them or his, those are pronouns because you are not calling the name of the noun. You are using the word for that very gender of that very noun. So the word lucky is an adjective because it gives more information about the noun boys. So is an action word, which is the past word, past tense for the verb. to see. Clowns here is a noun. At is a preposition because it's telling you where the action is happening. Circus is a noun because it's a physical place which you can see, you can touch. And is a conjunction because it is connecting this very sentence here and this very short sentence here. So we have like a like two sentences, like a compound sentence, or so to say. And then here we have a pronoun because instead of saying boys again, you just say they. And then cheered is an action word, and loudly is giving you the manner of cheering, which is an adverb. So the adverb talks about the degree, it talks about the manner, it talks about the it talks about the look, kind of. It just gives more information, not really complementing, like the adjective. So the the I skipped earlier represent the article. So these are the definite articles. English actually has only one definite article, but as we learned in the last class, the Tyap language has about six definite articles. Two of them are mainly used for singular words. In other words, when you say boy, you don't use the same pronoun, the same article you use for boys in Tyap, because there's the one for singular, there's the one for plural. And then the is repeated three times. So these are basically the English arrangement. And I mentioned in our first class that we have languages that have SVO. SVO syntax. The syntax is the arrangement of the words in a sentence. If you carry this article and you put in between the adjective and the noun, you have changed the syntax of this language. So if the language, you can say, lucky the boys saw, and everybody would understand that that language is supposed to be spoken like that, and that means that's the way the syntax of that very language is. Like in French, if you want to say the boys, maybe you just say le garçon or les garçons, or le fille or whatever. But in Tiap, we'll say instead zamji. You see the lo or the is the article which is standing before the noun, which is a part of speech. But in Tiaf, our own syntax says that we should put our definite article after the noun. So we have zamji instead of jizam. That's the syntax of Tiaf. That makes it what we have. And then the SVO here, if you say the lucky boys, the people who we are talking about, those are the subject, or that is the subject if it is a singular. So boys here is our subject, boys subject. And then we have saw. This is an active word, so this is a verb. So automatically we have our S, which is our subject, we have our V, which is our verb, and then we have the object, which is clowns. So this is the thing being talked about. This is the thing that is doing the action, and this is the thing being talked about. The action doer, the action, and then the object, which is the thing being talked about. So that's the way TIAP is. TIAP is also an SVO language. Subject, verb, object, damg. Lee, I don't know what clowns are in TIAP. Maybe we don't have clowns, but let's just say a kursak or a kursak. Even though our own kursak are meant for entertainment, well, they are all clowns. So yeah, but uh, in the African traditional religion, where they actually saw those as maybe religious figures, but uh, today we actually have them as clowns. So um, that's the that's just the basics of grammar, uh, just basics that we should know about. So the very first part of speech that we should talk about or we should consider is the noun. And the Tiab word for noun is Eliod. Eliod is a name, actually. A noun is a name. So if you are naming anything, you are naming a place, you are naming a person, you are naming an abstract something, you are naming a state, you are naming like SWAT. SWAT, you can't see SWAT. SWAT means sitting. You can't see SWAT like you see the person performing the action, But if you say the sitting of this very person in this very place is not proper, but you cannot see sitting, you can only see the person, so that's an abstract noun. So that gives us the concrete nouns, and then we have the abstract nouns. So the name of a thing, the name of a place, this is an abstract noun also, because you can't okay, can you see place? Yes, you can see place. Well, so these are concrete nouns, yes. But a place, maybe beauty, can you see beauty? Well, I don't know. But we have concrete nouns, that the one you can see, you can touch, and then we have the abstract noun. But those are not what we are talking about today. But just know that those are parts of speech as well. So Aliotkan, that's the name of a thing. Aliodovo, that's the name of a place, and then Aliodoyin, that's the name of a person. And then we have Kide, which are examples. We have Okwen, you can see, you can touch a tree. Vak, you can see, you can touch a road. John, you can see, you can touch a goat. Kaduna, Kaduna is a place. You can see, you can, well, you can be in Kaduna. You may not be able to touch Kaduna literally, but at least you come to the land. The land is the place. Actually, you can see the ground, you can touch the ground, and that place is Kaduna. And then Yona, you can see John, and then you can touch John. That's a noun. And then what are articles? Again, articles, as you will recall, we have definite articles and we have indefinite article. For the English language, there are the definite, there are the indefinite, but in the Tyap language, we don't have anything like indefinite articles. We only have definite articles. Well, we may have indefinite articles only when we are talking about numbers, but most times they are implied. In the English language, there's only one definite article, which is the. Before now, like 600 years ago, English has more than one. But then, or maybe more than that, English had, because it has been a long time since English lost its definite articles. Definite article, but then English has indefinite articles. An, you use a when the next word is starting with a consonant. I use an when the next word is starting with a vowel. It's as simple as that. You have A, E, I, O, U. You look at the word, and then you know whether it's a orange or an orange. It can't be a orange because O is a vowel. It can be an house because H is a consonant. So house is starting with H, which is a consonant. So you have a house, not an house. But yeah, we don't have that very distinction. Just say house, Ali is Ali. But if you are talking about a, like in terms of one, then you can say earlier new, one house, a house, or one house. One house, a house in English may mean the same thing. But at the same time, a house can just mean any house entirely that is built. And then definite articles, as I earlier mentioned, we have about six of them in tier. Two are used mainly for singulars, two are used both for singulars and plurals, and then two are used for mainly plural words. So we're into tier proper now. The definite article THE may be indicated by any of these six words. So if you can see very well, I've zoomed it. So we have ka, we have wu. So these two are used mainly for singular words. And then we have who, and then we have G. These two are used mainly for singular and plural words. Then we have ba, and then we have na. These two are used for mainly plural words, especially nouns and adjectives most times, as illustrated below. So we have akwanka. You can see this ka for singular. Akwanka means the tree, not just a tree, but the tree. You know the particular tree you're talking about. So you are saying that ka, not just akwan, but akwanka. And then you have buak. It's not buaka, it's buakhu. So we are using the second or the third definite article now because we are starting with letter B, and most letter B words are having the who definite article. The letter A words underlined, they are usually having either ka or wu, most times ka or wu, ka or wu. That's for words starting with and then for words starting with b, mostly who, but sometimes it is also G. I don't know who divided them like that, but well, the speakers just speak them and distinguish them accordingly. And then words starting with letter Z, all native Tyap words starting with letter Z fall under the G definite article, except if it is a loan word. If it's a loan word, don't be surprised. It can be a woo, like Zaki woo, and then plural ya Zaki ba. That's not a Tyap word anyway. But all typical Tyap words starting with letter Z, they are G words. And then we have a jijak ba. Now this is a plural. It's not a woo, it's not a ka. It is a jijak ba because a jijak is always plural in Tyap. And then we have a sakwadna. A sakwadna is, you can see a sakwad is water, a jijak is sand, John is goat, and then buak is hand, okwan is tree. A sakwad is uncountable, and most uncountable words in Tyap fall under the na definite article. But a jijak is also uncountable, but then it is falling under a bar. We don't know the reason why it is under the bar definite article instead of the na definite article, but that's the way the language is. And then we also have hyo who. Hyo is fats or oil, but then it doesn't carry the na, it doesn't carry the bar, it carries the who. So there are specific deviations from the norm in Tiap. It's not all of them that follow it. That's the way it is in other languages that have plenty definite articles also. For example, the most notable one is the German language. They also have such. And then we have Ogwam, Ogwamu, Ogwamu. That's the king or the chief or the big man. And then we have Kaduna G, Kaduna. Most Tiap words that start with letter K fall under the who definite article. But borrowed words, I've observed that borrowed words starting with letter K usually have the G definite article, but not all of them do. So Kaduna is a borrowed word. It's not a native Tiap word, so it's carrying a G definite article. And then Abuyap is a Tiap word for a village called Abuyap. It's carrying a Wu definite article. So Tiap has definite articles for all nouns, no matter what it is, being either a name of a person, name of a place, name of an animal, name of a thing. They all have definite articles. And then Watia who, Watia is another settlement. It's carrying a who because all W words in Tiap carry HU definite article, except if there's an exception, but I've not noticed any exception thus far. And then Ataganai is carrying a ka definite article. Remember the last lesson we had last week? Sorry, Atakanai, not Ataganai. This is Atakanai. It's actually two words, but the second K has been deleted. So that's attack Kanai, that's south of Kanai, literally anyway. So it's the name of a village. So that's attack Kanai. And then we have Tabadu. Tabad is the name of a person. And most Tiab words that start with letter T have the who definite article. But then usually if it is the name of a person, this who is usually used, except maybe there are unique differences or unique situations. And then we have Atabat. Atabat Ba. Now this is ruins. It's a plural word. Atabat is a place that people used to live before and they no more live there. They are packed to another place. And then we have Kyang Tugu. So as I said earlier on, names starting or words starting with letter K in Tiap usually carry the who definite article, but if you're having it as a name of a person, it's usually a woo. So how to determine if it is ka, wu, ji, ba or na? You have to consider what letter it is beginning with, and then you begin to think about the possibilities of what definite article it is, and then you begin to think about, is it countable, is not countable, is it uncountable, or is it a person you are talking about, is it a thing you are talking about, is it a borrowed word, is it an indigenous word? There are many factors that make us to know what definite article, and sometimes also it is the tonation. Is it a word that is falling, having a falling tone at the end, or is it having a rising tone at the end? That will determine if it is a ka or a wu word. the research is still going on to help us understand all this. So we are going gradually to understand the language and its uniqueness so that we can be able to speak it well, very well. So come to who, and then we have a bar. If you don't put this rising tone, it will become a singular. So we have a who. That's the person. So without the rising tone, is the person. With the rising tone, the people. So always put your rising tone if it is the people you are talking about, and if it is a single person, don't put a rising tone. So that's the Tyap. So in Tyap, we have about three words for person. We have Anyet, which is the oldest. That's the way it actually looks like. We don't know yet, but it looks like the oldest because many languages around our area they have words that are similar to this for person, both singular and plural. So also note that unlike the English language, names of persons and towns do carry the definite article in Tyap. So in English, you don't just say the Kaduna. It sounds awkward. You can't say the France. It is not English. You just say France. You could just say Kaduna. But in Tiap, you use the definite article. Okay. So I think somebody's mic is on. So please mute your mic. Let me take a shot. Please mute your mic entirely so that we can have a quieter room. Go ahead.
How my husband is doing?
Okay. So how does one know when to apply what article to a word? Well, before now, this very document says the only way for now is to listen to a good chat speaker or to listen to good chat speakers. But then I've given you some clues before this very page. Take note whether it's a singular or a plural. Take note if it is an indigenous word or a borrowed word. Also take note if it is a plural, is it a countable word? Is it an uncountable word? Take note of these differences, and take note also, most importantly, what letter it is starting with from A to Z in Tiap. Know what definite articles. Just do that particularly on your own, and then you will begin to understand much more than you have been understanding it. And then we also have in Tiap this very usage. It is a, he is a, she is a, they are. So these phrases in English have at least six ways in accordance to these six definite articles that we have in Tiap. So in Tiap, basically, for you to be able to speak the Tiap grammar very well, you have to be very familiar with the six definite articles because most things are determined by those six definite articles. So if you want to say it is a tree, in Tia, we don't just say it like some people go to AI and then AI will give them their its own definition. Maybe AI may know that tree is a kwan, and then AI knows that it is ngu, and then AI knows that it is yet, and then AI knows that well, maybe it knows a, it doesn't know a, maybe it will just say a is one, and then it will not say ngu yet nyonga kwan. That's if it even knows the words entirely, and well, you may believe it, but that's not Tiap. So in Tiap, anything that it is a, it is just one word in Tiap, not more than one word, and it doesn't come before the noun. It comes after the noun. That's our own syntax. That's our own arrangement of the grammar. So a kwenkia, remember it is a kwenka, the tree. A kwenka. If it you want to point at that very tree, or you want to say it is all you need to do is to palatalize that very k. Palatalize means to add k, I mean to add a y after the consonant sound. If you want to labialize it, you add a w after the consonant sound. It's as simple as that. Palatalize, labialize, palatalize, labialize. Palatalize means add y. Labialize means add w, and then palate labial means add YW. We don't have labial palate in Tiap. We don't have WY in Tiap. Only in languages like Hiam. They are the ones that have WY, but here we only have uh, palate labia, which is which is HY, HW rather. So if it is a tree, you say a quan kia. Okay, so my screen is not changing.
I think
So
Okwantika rather, right?
no, we are getting there. We are getting there. So it is a tree. Okwenkia.
Okay,
Yuhuahu.
okay.
What is this? If somebody asks you, what is this? You say Okwenkia. It is a tree. What is this? It is a hand. Buak hua. It is who before now, but you replace the U with WA. It becomes Buak hua. John G, the goat. What is this? John Ja. John G means one goat, the goat. Maybe it is the goat. John, it is a goat rather. Remember, it is a goat, not it is the goat. It is a goat. John Ja. And then a jijak bia. This one you palatalize the B. Here you change the I to A. Here you change the U to WA. Here you palatalize the K. And then here you change the A to IA. And then you change the U to A to make it is A. So Ogwamwa, Ogwamu, Ogwamwa, Kadunaji, Kadunaja, Asakwadna, Asakwadnya, Ajijagba, Ajijagbia, Jonji, Jonja, Bwaku, Bwakwa, Okwanka, Okwankya. So you do that for all the words in Tiap language. We only have six of them. Abuyabu, Abuyapua, Watiabu, Watiapua, Atakanai Ka, Atakanai Kya, Tabadu, Tabadwa, Atabadba, Atabadbia, Kyantugu, Kyantugwa, and Anyedba, Anyed. Bia, it is people. It is people. You can say, well, you can say it is a people, well, but it is people. Maybe you are just pointing out the people who did this. Kyantuk, it is Kyantuk, not it is a Kyantuk, because Kyantuk is not an object. Okay, so we also have it is the, that's the definite article version of the it is a. This time around, it is the. You are very definite about that very object you are pointing at. What is this? Or what did those people, or which tree actually did those people cut, or something? So you just say Okwenkikia. It is the tree. You already know what particular tree you are talking about. But if you just say Okwenkia, maybe any tree at all. But this one, Okwenkikia, there is something definite that you are talking about. There's a particular tree. And the same thing for the Buakuhua. Buakuhua. Please don't mind my intonation. If I'm getting it wrong, just concentrate on the spelling. So Buakuhua, it is the hand. And then John Jija, it is the goat. Jija Bibia, it is, or they are the sons, or it is the sand, since sand is in singular in English. And then Asokoninia, that's it is the water, not just Asokonia. It is a water, but this one is Asokoninia. You continue like that, Ogwanwua, Kaduna Jija, Abuyawua, Watiahua, and then Atakana Kikia, and then Tabadua, and then Tabad Bibia, and then Kiantugua, and Anyet Bibia. And then we also have another bigger emphasis, because people just want you to they want to speak, and they want you to really understand what they are talking about. They don't want you to accept it vaguely. They don't want you to be confused about it, and they want to stress on everything that they are talking about. So if they say a it this is the tree. Maybe you are not understanding what tree they are talking about. Then they draw your hand, and then they bring you to where they are talking about, and then they say Okwenkikyaka. This is the tree. And then Wahuwahu, it is, this is the hand. And then Zonjijaji, this is the goat. I was talking about maybe yesterday, and then Ajija Bibia, and then Sokwaninya, and then Ogwanwuwau, Kaduna Jijaji, Obuya Wuwau, Watia Huhahu, Ataka na Ikichaka, Tabaru Wau, Ataba Bibiaba, Chantuku Wau, and then Anya Bibiaba. These are the people. And then we then have the second part of speech, which is pronouns. But then let me go back to the same class and then I ask you a question. How do you say this is the house? Can someone tell us what is the expression for this is the house in Tiap? This is the house.
Diyeli kyaka.
Mm-mm. Mm. I didn't say see. This is the
Okay.
house.
Okay. Ali kyaka.
Aliki Kyaka. Okay, so Zugwai Otolibene. And can someone also tell us how do you say this is the thing? This is the thing.
Can I answer?
Okay, yes, sir.
This is the tin.
Yes.
Chanhuhuahu.
Okay, Kyanghuhuahu. Okay, so Zugwai Otolibene. So this is the pattern that all Tiab words carry. So long as you have the word, and so long as you know what definite article it belongs to, then you know how to apportion any of this one. Just study the pattern, know the definite article, and then know which arrangement you should use for them. Now we have pronouns, and the word for pronoun singular in Tiap is okono. Okonu is a representative, and then Oliot is a name. That's the literal meaning. So the representative of a name is Okonu Oliot, and that is the meaning of pronoun. And the plural form is Okonu Liliot. Well, I don't know if I'm wrong, but that's it should be it. But just know this basic one before us. So a word used in place of a noun, you just want to represent the noun instead of calling the name itself. You just use it as a pronoun. And Tiab also has six pronouns according to what definite article that very noun carries. Now we have about six of these very, I mean, we have a number of sentences, and I will need somebody to read these very words, these very sentences in the Tiab intonation, and then um, give us the English meaning of it. So, who can volunteer for us to read these words quickly so that we can be able to finish in time today? Can someone volunteer?
Please, may I take it, please?
Okay, yes, sir.
So where are the words?
So, these are the words. Can you see my screen? Okay. So, Atolishan, are you speaking? So, I think your mic is muted.
We can't see
Okay.
your screen. We can't see your screen.
Okay, you can't see my screen. For how long have you not been able to see my screen? Who else cannot see my screen? Please.
I can't see it either, sir. We can. It's off and on, sir.
Okay, so I'm changing, I'm bringing back. So can you see it
Okay,
right
we are
now?
seeing it now. Yes, sir.
Okay, so please, can someone volunteer and read it and then give us the tiap in the right tiap intonation?
Let me try.
Okay,
Nkunangang, nkunangang.
okay,
I gave you money.
okay. Next,
Aku nang nungkurum.
repeat again.
Aku nang nungkurum.
Okay, so what does it mean?
they gave me money. Oh, you gave me the kuku. You
So you
gave
have to
me
be
money.
you have to be very certain about every word in Tyap, because Tyap is
Yes.
a language that can be used like English and any other language. So we should not have the attitude of saying we use our own language as we wish. Meanwhile, we are very serious with English. So that makes us look stupid actually before the Englishman. So we
Mm-hmm.
have to be very serious with our own language. If we are saying it out, then we have to be very, very serious about it. If it is an a, we use it as a. If it's an we say it as an and let's not be like having laissez-faire or kind of laxity towards it, whether it's wrong or it is right. Well, we don't care, but let's be very serious with the language, and then you see that other people also respect it as we are respecting it. So please go back again to number 2, and then give us the Tiap, read it in Tiap, and then you give us in the English version of it. Oh, yeah, so okay. So can someone else try out? Can someone else try to read this very second paragraph for us? Anyone?
Okay, can I try?
Okay, please go ahead.
Um, unkunang unkunang ang kurum. I give
Okay,
you money.
okay.
Okunang nung kurum. I was given money.
Mm. Now, remember in the last class or the first class, we had an A and then we have an A underlined. Maybe you were not present in the former class. Uh, okay, that's casual. So maybe you are not present, but whenever you have an A without an underline, that is A. And whenever you have an A with an underline, that is A. There are two different words entirely and they mean two different things. Okay, so go
Okay.
again in number 2.
Akunang nung kurum.
Okay,
It means yeah, you gave me money.
okay. Then number 3.
Afat ngu nyuan.
Okay,
Afat ngu nyuan
okay.
means slaughtered a chicken for him.
Say it again.
You slaughtered a chicken.
Is it he or you? Is this one A
Afat
or
afat ngu nyuan.
Okay. What does that mean in Tiap?
You slaughtered a chicken for him or her.
Okay. Then the third one.
Zulamba mang apa.
Okay. So what does that mean?
It means we are more than them in number.
Okay. So what's the next one?
Balanzut mang zwa. Balanzut
Okay.
mang
Okay. So
means
what does that mean?
they are wealthier than us.
Okay. So what is the next one?
Al alakzut one.
Okay. So we have an A in Tiap. That's a pronoun. We have an A underlined. That's another pronoun, and then we have an A underlined with a rising tone. So the one with the rising tone is different from the one without the rising tone, and it is different from the one without anything at all. So one is a, one is one is a. So which one is this very one?
This one is uh
Okay, so read it again.
alakzut one.
Okay, what does that mean?
He has forsaken us.
Okay, so the next one.
Nyilingua.
Okay, so what does that mean, Tia?
Have you seen him or her?
Okay, so and then we have the next slide. Uh, what is number 8?
Abunyina.
Okay, so you can see a rising tone this time around. You don't pronounce it the way you pronounce the one without the rising tone. So what does this mean? What, pronounce it again and then you give us the meaning in English.
Uh, okay. Abunyina.
Mm-mm. We don't speak like that in Tiap. Read it naturally as a Tiap speaking person.
Abunyina.
Good. So what does that mean?
Were you forgotten?
Okay. So we have the next one. How do you say this in? How do you read this?
Chatnakoji.
Okay. So what does that mean?
Um, he looked for it everywhere. He searched for it
Okay.
everywhere.
No. So now it will not be it. This is a plural in Tiap. So say it again.
Chatnakoji.
Okay. So what does that mean?
Uh, he loves it or she loves it.
Mm, okay, well, it is still correct, but this is a definite article. I mean, this is a pronoun, he or she. So Tiab is not a gender. It doesn't have a gender. Both singular. I mean, both female and male have the same word. So he
Yeah.
or she. Chat has many meanings in Tiab. Chat can mean to look for. Chat can mean to like or to love or to want or to need or to plenty words. And then this na will be them or it's usually them. It cannot be anything else except if it is an uncountable now, like water. That's na. Also what na. Na koji. He look or she looked for the water everywhere. She looked for them or she looked for it everywhere. That's in English language. But yeah, na also what na. Na also what na. Mba and ba. Mba and ba. So because a support na is carrying the na definite article, them for a support will be na, not mba. Okay. So for some of
Yes.
us, we'll be using mba for all the definite because it's a plural. We'll use mba, but always make sure that you take note of what definite article that very noun is carrying. Then you know whether it's na or mba. You can't say a chamba koji and then you are talking about water. Water. That means you are talking about people and yet bar. So a chana koji, that means he or she look for them everywhere. It could be children, manna. A chana koji, he or she look for the children. That's them everywhere. So please give us this one in Tiap and then give us the meaning in English.
Okay. Tagunya gubai.
Okay, so what does that mean?
Tagunya gubai.
Okay, meaning.
Tell he or her to come.
Okay, so tell him or her to come. And then what of this very one sentence?
Mwana bia abunu.
Okay, so what does that mean?
It means you're at fault.
Okay, so what about this one?
Nyitabaji baido.
Okay, so what does that mean?
Means catch it and bring.
Okay, so we use ni for plural you, and then we use one singular for you. So even though in English you can't say you, or where you can say it actually, but emphatically, and then there will be a comma here. You
Hmm.
catch it, bring it. That's the literal meaning of this. You plural, catch tabat
Hmm.
it, buy come it ndio.
Yeah.
You catch it, bring it, but catch it and bring. And then what about this one?
Hmm. Bayan who attack.
Ah,
Bayan who attack.
so we are having Tyak. This is palatalized T. So pronounce this one very well.
Tiak. Bayan who attack.
Okay, so what does that mean in English?
It means they ate it all.
Okay, so what about this very sentence?
The next one.
Yeah, this very highlighted one.
Nyinwaka afanka.
Okay, what does that? No, pronounce it again. Say it again.
Nyinwaka afanka.
Okay, say this only this.
Nyinwaka
Say only this word.
afang afang.
Say it
Okay,
again.
afan
Okay. Uh,
afan.
fun. Okay, so give us the English meaning of this very sentence.
Nyinwaka afanka means give give her or him the
Mm-hmm.
fish.
Okay, so what about this next one?
Nyitiengu owun.
Okay, what does that mean?
Means you scared him or you terrified him or her.
Okay, you are frightening him, or you frighten him, or you frighten her.
Yes.
Okay, okay, so what about this very sentence?
Agwazanungu chet.
Okay, what does that mean?
Uh, hmm. My God is alive.
Okay, so and then what about this very one? Start to the last.
Yeah, Oshiengu okay. Oshiengu nanguna da jiwa. Oshiengu nanguna da jiwa.
Okay, so what is the meaning of that?
He met him like he met him when he was going where?
Okay, so that's the literal translation. So arrange it now in the way the Englishman would say it normally.
Oshiengu nanguna da jiwa. Where
Arrange
was
it
he going when he met him?
very good. So the syntax has changed now. So you can hear our own grammar and English grammar is going like front to back, back to front. So
Yeah.
Oshengu or Oshengu Nagunare Jiwa, it literally means he found him as or when he going where. Huh? Because
Hmm.
I don't know how to say this in English. Just so, but English will
The
change
question
it
particle.
so that to make it more native to English. And then what about this very one?
Kaya gangwa
Okay, what does that mean?
is your food.
Okay, what about this one?
Alinzita,
What does this mean?
it means it's our house.
Okay, so are you tired or somebody will help you
Uh,
or you
okay,
finish
let me
it?
go.
Okay,
Let me
so
finish it.
what about this one?
Kurumbahwa
Okay, what does it mean?
means it's their money.
Okay, what about this one?
Ngwaninkya,
What does that mean?
it's your child.
This is nyin.
Okay, it's their child.
Okay, this is nyin, not mba.
Mm, Ngwaninkya.
So remember again, yin is plural you, not them, not your. Is
Yeah,
a second person
child.
personal pronoun plural. It
Their
is
child.
your child,
It's,
your child.
okay, it's your child.
Hmm. Okay, ngon nyinkia, not ngon bakia, and not ngon. Ngukia, not Ngonankia, Ngonyankia, second person. Okay, so what about this very one?
Yang Nua
Okay, what does this mean?
is my mother.
Okay, what about this one?
And a new Gambia. And a new
Okay,
Gambia.
okay, what does this mean?
Okay, okay, carry a rising thing. So can it be a new Gambia?
Okay, so the tone has changed now. That's plural.
Yeah,
And a nuke
yeah,
singular, and a nuke plural. Okay, what is the
yeah.
English meaning?
And then you it means they are your siblings.
Okay, so what about this one? The next one.
Nad Nadaji.
Okay, what does this mean?
Where am I going to?
So, and you remember if you change the tone, it will mean another thing.
Yeah.
Okay, say it another way again with another tonation.
Nadaji.
What does it mean in English?
I went where?
Okay, what about Nadaji?
Nadaji. Where should I go?
Very good. So, this same word, it doesn't change. There's no difference in spelling, but it can mean several things. Nadaji, where did I go? Nadaji, where should I go? Maybe it can have other words, other meanings as well. And then what about this very one?
Nadaji.
What does this mean in English?
Where is he or she going?
Okay, and then it can also mean what again?
Nadaji.
Okay, I think that's the major meaning in that very sentence. What about this very one?
Ah, Nadaji.
Okay, what does that mean?
Where should he go?
No, this one is carrying a rising tone. So this is a definite,
Nadaji.
this is they, not he or she.
Nadaji.
This is
Yeah.
another G.
Okay, Nadaji means
Okay,
where are they going?
okay. And then what about this one?
Nadaji.
Okay, what does it mean?
Where are you all going? Like in
Okay,
plural. Where are you
okay,
all going?
okay, correct. And then what about this one?
Nadaji.
Okay, what does this mean?
Where are we going?
And then what about if you say Zanadaji?
Nadaji. Where
Yeah,
where has it gone?
okay, not the for this. Remember the that's we, you know. Where should we go? How do we say it in Tiap? Where should we go?
Nadaji.
Okay, Zanadaji. So the tonation now has made it to mean, because in Tiap, some definite article, I mean, some areas, they would say if it is Dam, for example, that's boys, you know, is Damji. Now, the definite article, I mean the plural, the pronoun, which is the subject. Now, the subject of the pronoun for Dam is J. So, Janaraji, that's where are they going? But some, instead of J, they say Z. So
Z-
so they said Z instead of J, and especially those who are closer to the Sholio speakers, Sholio speaking areas, they said Z instead of J in Tia. So it may not be totally wrong if somebody uses Z instead of J, but this one here we are using the dialect that is used for the writing of the Bible, which is the Mawukili dialect of Jonjon. So in Jonjon there, when they use the that's we now. So Zanaraji, where are we going to? Zanaraji, where should we go? And what about this very one?
Banadaji.
Okay, what does this mean?
Where should they go?
Okay, and if we now say Nanaraji, it's still the same thing, but the meaning has changed from but, which is for people,